Hi-oh, beaver! Away!
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Crits Cast, sponsored by Manco Store. This is the grand final of ETF2L Season 22. This is, of course, the Premiership Division. Two teams duking it out to become the #1 team in Europe. Of course, we've got some lovely Highlander for you tonight. We've got two giants of the game, lots of familiar faces, and we've got some pretty cool people in the production scene too. Wiethoofd is going to be doing all of the camera and the fancy overlays, and I'm joined by Buck. Buck, these are the two best teams in Europe, yes or no?
Definitely, without a doubt. And yes, welcome everyone once again to another ETF2L Premiership Grand Final. Hope you're all got your popcorn ready and your drinks ready for this Highlander action. But yeah, it should be an intense match. I mean, you know, it's Battle of the Titans once again.
Okay, things are changing. It's changed. All right. So inVision banned Badwater, SDCK banned Product. Like I said, I wasn't wrong. I'm never wrong. SDCK then picks Upward, which will be the first map we see here tonight. inVision then picks Steel. And the next two bans were Coalplant and Gully Wash, with the decider being Warm Tick. I do think we are getting ready to go live here for our first map. For those of you just joining us, this is Crits Cast, sponsored by Manco Store. This is the grand final of Season 22 Premiership Division in ETF2L. We have two Highlander giants going head to head for the title to be crowned the best in Europe. Super Dickmann's KANNONEN, shortened to SDCK, will be in the blue, attacking first against inVision in the red, the second seeds who had to come through in a best of three in the semi-final. They're in the red, defending, and they'll be trying to beat the time from SDCK. Probably less of a David and Goliath situation these days, Bucks. It's almost like David and Goliath if David's been hitting the gym for the past few years and is maybe like ready to take on Goliath in a 1v1. Who knows?
Yeah, just as a clarification as well, I think SDCK is actually starting on red. So
I blame production, honestly.
Yeah,
honestly, we
is throwing right now. Oh god, SMH.
Honestly, but sometimes I feel like we carry this entire thing.
I know what's going on.
He's saying stuff in our ears right now. He's calling us rude. He's just a very unprofessional man. No, of course he does so much work. So everything you see is his eyes. It's his eyes. Indeed. He's seeing everything, and our eyes right now are going to be ready to look for these suicides on the side of inVision, who are attacking first, and Stingen so far forward, maybe trying to get a cheeky peek there, but cannot get it done. And it's Kazarok on the floor. Just both snipers, just kind of scoping each other out. Excuse the pun. And an aggressive sentry here, but Clark wants to deny those bombs.
Yeah, they're going for the aggressive hold here. Got a few people going down already. Kazarok does get picked off though, so there's some entry thing here. And we've seen the defensive move being forced out, so I mean, wow, just perfect pretty much first suck in there for inVision, just getting them completely off guard.
Yeah, I mean, it costs that many players, but if you can get the force, it's amazing. If you can get something on top of that, it's even better. And getting Kazarok does mean now Stinghan has a little bit of space, unpressured space. The teleporter is up, so Kazarok is going to be back in position. But this Uber is used really, really early, and it's flashed a ton of times. But Stinghan does take down Kazarok. No sniper. This sentry is doing a lot of work. Finally gets taken down by Lanza there, but May is on the flank here, battling valiantly against three, and is just buying some time. But Yahoo going down there, no pyro, and SDCK have to back away here, and they're just losing too many players. Stinghan on fire right now is going to take down Catgirl. No medic for SDCK, God. And this is a first point crash.
This is putting SDCK into their discomfort zone already. Murphy gets stabbed by swipes there as well, so this is the demo down for them. They've got some people in the tunnel, but it's only one or two. And the people on top of the hill here for inVision are very comfortable. They've still got their med with them. I'm pretty sure they're aware that Poker is going to be in this side area. Surely he's going to peek now. He's waiting to shoot. They know he's here now, though, so he's going to get picked up. May comes in for the flank, though. Tertium in danger. Goes down. So, I mean, this Mezzo and May doing some good coordination play from the flank to there to get so many picks. They're going to go down as well.
Yeah, I mean, it was all spurred on there by Jackie Legs. Jackie Legs and Poker were inside the tunnel. Jackie Legs jumped up, hit a couple of rockets on Tercio. Nobody killed him. He jumps back underneath. And Poker then came through, didn't do the damage, but he was the distraction. And yeah, like you said, May came in and got the cleanup there and managed to get the med pick. So things now looking slightly better for SDCK as DQZ dies to his opposing soldier there, Jackie Legs, on a 2-kill streak. And Catgirl at 75%, about a 30% advantage over Tercio. But just take a look at inVision right now. They're trying to get some space. They're trying to see what they can do. Jackie Legs using that conch that he uses so often, but they don't actually get anything with it. And in fact, they lose May. Jackie Legs is really weak, so this flank not looking too healthy right now.
Yeah, but they lose Barth's trying to peek this rock. They've got their gun up as well. Clark's trying to rescue Ranger, but he's got no metal to help the dispenser out. So they're taking quite a bit of damage here. I mean, Catgirl's goes cut out as Mezzo tries to get some damage done on the top of the hill as well. Stands down for now, so they've got to try and regroup. But yeah, 100% in the bank for both medics here, as Mezzo's just calming whereabouts they are on the hill. So it should give them a bit of breathing room.
Yeah, I mean, they essentially traded damage there because Mezzo took down Stan, but Murphy died in kind of retaliation almost. And Murphy's spawn was about 25 seconds compared to Stan's 5. So Stan is back in the action and back in position while Murphy's just coming out the spawn door now. And a lot of players dying poker with one of those stereotypical flanks that he is famous for, picking up 3. And the Ubers are traded, but Kako's struggling to find someone to flash here. And it's actually going to be Kazarok who gets the majority of that Uber. It's all chaos here as SDCK just not in position. Lancer is chasing forward. And Stan's going to take down Clark. No sentry, no entry for the next point.
I don't think just saw what Jackie Legs just did, but he just retreated into the health pack, and Tertia for some reason left his team to go for the health pack alone and found Jackie Legs and just ended up dying.
No.
So that is just an absolutely tragic player there as he does go eventually down. But they're pushing this cart in importantly, but Kanago are going to have a slight hand coming into this defense.
Yeah, I mean, just think of your medic like a child, a small child. Don't leave them unattended. If they need something, walk them to it. Don't leave them alone, as we see Tercio not listening to that rule and does die. But yeah, I mean, again, SDCK not looking too comfortable there. The first sign of an exchange, they end up losing it, and it takes kind of like, you know, a big play for them to get back into this, as Mez is going to get cleaned up by Lancer there on the cart. So this cart is just going to keep being pushed. Catgirl with the ad again. But it seems at the moment inVision are happy to just W in when they have an Uber and just take the exchange and hope to see that, you know, they end up with the better one. And Stan's running the quickies. It's in a 4K right now. They're just picking up a few kills left, right and centre.
Yeah, but they lose the flank for it though. Lancer trying to find Kaza here to try and push him out, and there we go. Does eventually get pushed out, but Lancer's still alive. Ace is doing a good job of trying to push the car in as well. Not a lot of pressure coming from inVision just yet, as they're trying to wait for this Uber to build more than likely, as Degu's still just sitting in the back with this level 2. I mean, they're quite passive for SDCK, to be fair.
Yeah, I mean, this cart has gone up the first slope, the second slope, and we're on to the third one before SDCK even have an inkling of wanting to defend this. And it does look like we're hitting a pause. It's a grand final, Buck. Come on. I mean, of course we're going to have at least 17 pauses. What do inVision need to do, or who needs to really step up and perform on a big scale tonight? You can ask that question after Matt, because we are live again. And Stinghand, you talked about what Stinghand was going to do. He takes down Jackie Legs, and the counter Uber does come in, and it's going to be made to clean up Asux there on the car to give them a bit of breathing space. And wow, yeah, they pick up a lot of kills there. A bit of wrangling from Clark and some snipes from Kazarok will set things into some sort of normality, as people are going to be skating around the server for a little moment or two. And I think we are going to have a brief reprieve, but DQZ and Bath is getting into position to maybe start going in through this side house here.
Yeah, and Kazarok, I think he's starting to warm up a bit now. I mean, I think he was playing a bit of the first few points, but he's starting to find it now on this third point. Gets a headshot onto the heavy as well. That's also inside house still, that they haven't dealt with. They just don't want to overextend here. Like this passive sort of gaming right now from SDCK. It's paying dividends at the moment, but they've let this cart get pushed up quite a bit, so maybe they're only worried about it until it hits the point itself. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe it's a new strat for them not to overcommit, peek those sidelines, allow Kazarok to have that space. They are affording a lot of space for inVision here, and as we get closer to, you know, having these Ubers, it does mean that it's not going to take much for that cart to get pushed up, and already they're starting to get a little bit of space. They're pushing along the tracks here, but at the moment SDCK are getting enough kills to just slow things down. Bath is, oh no, he tries to walk off and 2 players fall off. I think this is where the pause happened, where we had some issues perhaps, and Strono and Bath is just falling off the cliff there, and we're just seeing things, again, enter a little bit of a stalemate, because Kazarok, like he said, hopping off a little bit right now. He's on a 6K as he takes down Sting and starts to get a little bit more aggressive.
I think they're actually just trying to play off Kazza here, like, entirely. If Kazza can keep winning these SVSs, they're kind of just relying on inVision not being able to come up with any answers. Because the one thing I would have said to answer your question earlier, CeeJaey, is that I think sometimes they do rely on Sting a bit too much. And they really need to try and work on playing around, like, either the flank or, like, trying to get Stan more involved. Because Stan has been doing so much work for them recently, especially in some of the Koth maps they've been doing. So, and as I say that, yeah, I mean, the gun goes forwards there for Clark, and he eventually goes down. And Barth is still being annoying in his side area as well. Murphy trying to, like, look in several places at once, and yeah, they can't use into nothing though there. I think that was a bit of miscommunication. Yeah,
they had a huge advantage, and you would have thought maybe save that for last and use that to push on to last, because that was all opened up by DQZ. He, like, you know, we're talking about relying on Sting, and he was just like got a sledgehammer and just busted down the door. Stan takes down Kazarok. So Kazarok has been doing so much work for SDCK so far on this defensive phase. He's going to get taken down. Oh wow, they're just going up top, and Catgirl is dead. Stan and Barth is combining this Polish power combo, going forward, taking top by force. And that's a bit unlucky for SDCK, because they got a few players in that spawn queue, and that cart is still pushing. JackeyLegs is trying to block the cart, but he can't stand with those quickie bombs, just destroying anything that he's getting close to his combo right now. And huge advantage for inVision, rather, as SDCK's medic did die. And this could be a cap, as this is just being churned out.
Yeah, it's just kind of bleeding here. I mean, the reason why I was so surprised earlier is because A6 just walks into Murphy's face and kills him as an engineer. So, like, everything's kind of just falling apart there. They lose their meds, and they get the heals on the cart. Flanking doing so much work for them. They got the power on the cart as well. And there we go, just a clean last push for inVision. They couldn't have hoped for anything better. I don't know if there's a bit of complacency or just a bit of, like, cockiness from SDCK. I really feel like they should have just, like, come back to the spawn hold, not overestimated anything, and then gone forwards when they had their spawns in, because there were so many dead coming from third there.
Yeah, I mean, DQZ jumped in from the side, managed to get a couple of rockets onto Cargirl. Cargirl didn't use, so they still had the Uber charge, but he took down Clark. And then they lost Kazarok and Yahoo, so they had no sort of defensive denying area because of the lack of pyro. Kazarok, who'd been clicking on heads all day, was no longer in the game. And yeah, I mean, when you've not got an Uber anymore or a Sentry or anything like that, makes it very, very easy for the attacking team to clean you up. But it was just that aggressive take of the top area. They took the high ground by force. Stan and Barth is there, and they managed to take down Kakal. And if SDCK had played a bit more of a passive hold, they would have had a charge and been able to sort of just eke out a little bit more time on that last point. But Murphy in the server saying that some of the players were invisible, so he didn't even see the players that were killing him. So that may have been an issue for him, you know, with the issues with the pause. So we'll have to see what happens. But the time to beat is 8:27. I would say that's a pretty respectable time, all in all.
Yeah, it's true, and I suppose if the players are invisible, I wouldn't be surprised if that was an excuse for where A6 just kind of ran into his face and killed him. So kind of unlucky if there's some server issue or some issue on his client side there. But either way, yeah, this offense is coming in right now. Got a lot of people just immediately on this cart area. JackeyLegs going to be trying to bomb in. Takes a lot of damage in return though. But yeah, I mean, got sort of initial passive gun from A6 and Tertia sitting sort of on the health back area. So not really any initial sack wave though.
No, not really seeing any sort of sack wave, just seeing slowly but surely pushing that car. But JackeyLegs is in! Huge nuke onto players there, but doesn't actually get the force. But the big pick was Kazarok, who takes down Stan, takes down Lanzas. He's got a notebook, and he is ticking off the names one by one. And without that Demo Man for a few more seconds, maybe that 10 seconds actually, still in the spawn queue, that's going to mean not much deniability for the defensive side. They already really have to worry about Stingen, but no, Kazarok gets taken down by DQZ there. Just some long-range spam, and Stingen is going to take down Pozka, so they're losing players to this sniper. The Uber's going to come in. They've already lost Clark as well, so this Uber exchange is not going well for SDCK right now. It's all going to be about the cleanup afterwards. May has gone down to Barthes, who in turn gets taken down by JackeyLegs, and they're all starting to spread out here. The car is starting to be pushed again, but there's a lot of players clustering around that. Sentry Murphy with the nuke is going to take down the Sentry, and the engineer, and Yahoo comes in to clean up Stan. This may well be, excuse the pun, be the push that SDK wanted, as May is the one pushing the car.
Oh, there we go. Medic eventually goes down. I was just staring at Tertia, waiting for something to happen there as the soldier damage comes in. as well as some other things as well, and eventually goes down. But I was going to say earlier, DKZ's time's back up there actually did a lot of work in trying to reduce some of the damage that was coming in there, and like essentially saved Toshio's life, but then they overextended for the med kill, and there we go, they got it. And now Stinghand goes down on this defense. Gonna be pretty rough for this as Swipes gets that heavy kill, but yeah, they've got their gun. It's gonna be kind of hard for them to try and push out here, and they've got a big advantage on the side of SDCK.
Yeah, and you know, they're stuck in this defensive hold. Murphy actually takes down Strono, so there's not going to be a Pyro being able to defend it. Oh, but Stan, cheeky little sticky trap there, is going to take down the two people who are pushing the cart, and the spam is coming down on the sentry. DKZ gets taken out by the pipes, and Murphy also taking down the sentry, so that is able to solidify their second hold. And they actually do have a bit of an ad here, Buck, but as we always know, pushing the cart from second to third, it takes a long time. And, you know, having a new Brad in this situation isn't always as advantageous as it may seem.
Yeah, we've also got Barth is hiding in this front spawn. He's going to try and find something here. He gets the demo. They know he's here now, though. He doesn't find the med. But that might actually delay their push in here with this ad. And, well, it's not ad anymore, I suppose. But, yeah, a bit of a pick from him there to deny Murphy from coming straight away. So we'll have to see if Stinger can have the same effect that Kaza had on this point.
Yeah, he takes down May there, and that Murphy kill is actually huge because, you know, May dying there on the cart, there was no denial on Stinghand whatsoever, and he was able to just stand there totally free. If Murphy was alive, he would no doubt be throwing some stickies up that side, but Kazarok is also popping some heads as well as Lanza goes down, so both scouts suffering the humiliation of a bullet through the skull. But there we go, Murphy is in position now, and he's starting to spam people from the tracks. And this is where we saw a lot of time being kind of won here by SDCK defending it. Stinger's actually gone down to the backside of a Mezzo, so maybe something good, but Jackie Legs launched into the skybox, not able to get any sort of force.
Yeah, Tesha taking some damage there, but not needing to use just yet, as the gun from ASICS is still alive and well. But, I mean, they're trying to deny them on the tracks a bit here, a bit more aggressive than usual. Strono trying to, maybe lagging out a bit there, actually, as he kind of just goes straight into them, and the Uber comes out in return. There's not many people alive on this defense, though, straight away for this Uber. It's only really the heavy in the demo. Mezzo's going to walk up to the gun and sap it like it's nothing, and eventually going to try and push this cart up. There's so many dead right now on the defense.
Oh, Jackie Legs with the little wall shot, making sure that ASICS dies there, and with the engineer down, we're in a very similar situation to what we saw earlier on, where Clark died and wasn't able to, you know, get a sentry full up for the last point. He's down for another 5 or so seconds. DQZ in for 15 seconds as well. So SDCK with just under 4 minutes to go here, they lose Murphy to Lanza. That's a really big pick. Lanza's actually kind of just annoying them in this stair area, and just being defensive here, probably a smarter choice. Tesco actually dropping down to May with Stan, and this may not be a great idea as Stan dies, as does Lanza to Posca, revving up that minigun to take down some people. DQZ just coming out of the spawn is also going to die, so a lot of picks happening here. Tesco does have the advantage, but SDCK kind of controlling the position at the moment.
Bit of a disrespect play, in my opinion, from inVision there. Just kind of walking onto the cart, but with no heavy and no demo on their own, and then they just find Poker on the cart and taking cover along with some of the flank members, and there we go. They've got a lot of pressure in now. They've got a lot of cart time in. Stan's doing the best to try and spam out the cart, putting a load of damage into there, but Mezzo's also in this top area, trying to sap the gun, going to drop down now as well, as Stinger's doing his best to try and snipe out some heads as well, and they eventually defend it, but they have to use the Uber for it as well, and they don't get Catgirl, so yeah, we'll have to see whether they try and position themselves now into this disad.
Catgirl was using those feline legs as fast as possible to get away from the danger there, and I mean, they have this huge advantage now, just under 3 minutes to go, and the
Mezzo!
Tantalizingly close. Mezzo, what?
Mezzo just kills new people and then just kills the medic afterwards. I don't even know how Mezzo again, like single-handedly kills everyone up top pretty much, allows his team to get space in the car. I don't even know what to say. I mean, Mezzo just pretty much carried that single push by himself. Huge play by him.
So it'll be interesting to see how each team adapts to their opponent's strats in the next couple of rounds.
Yeah, especially on a map-by-map basis as well, because when you have like best of 3 payload, especially, it's like, you know, okay, well, that play caught me out, so next time I'm going to probably be prepared for it, but then it makes you think, you know, are they then going to change it, what they're doing? Is he going to be stood there again? Maybe not. Is he going to be stood somewhere else? So what does that mean for my other teammates? They're going to be pushing in there. So you have to kind of try and communicate that and remember that certain play. And when you're playing at this level of like Highlander, like it's plays like that that kind of make or break games.
Absolutely. We are starting with the second round now of Upward. And it will be SDCK in the blue. So they'll be attacking first this time around, trying to set a time, capping last as fast as possible. And inVision in the red will be defending, and then we do a little switcheroo, and they'll be trying to beat that time. Of course, if SDCK win this round, then they'll have won the first map and we'll be moving on to Steel. But if inVision win it, then we'll have to go to a golden cap of another phase of upward. And Buck has said he's expecting a long one tonight. I mean, you know, you just gotta get your coffee ready, your Monster, your Red Bull, whatever it is, to keep yourselves awake for what could be potentially a very long final here. So, I mean, all of the maps could go either way in reality, but we'll have to see what happens on upward first. Any predictions, Buck? Do you think inVision have learned from their mistakes and they're going to bounce back?
Well, I think SDCK have just got a +1 morale boost from doing their coordinated shred alert taunt. So, you know, that gives them something to go off. So, let's see if they can bring that forward into this offense and, yeah, see how inVision holds this. I mean, they seem to be holding back again like they did last time.
Yeah, DQZ with a very interesting spot here, just standing a little bit high on the right hand side. Got a nice spam angle. And so that actually allowed Mezzo, because normally the soldiers stand where he is right now, and that's allowed Mezzo to walk past absolutely unnoticed. So he's going to be going for that teleporter entrance, which is, of course, the biggest pick you can get in Highlander, as Yahoo flies in with the jetpack. So much damage coming down onto places. Stan will die. Tercio uses the Uber, and the teleport's gone down as well, Buck. That's pretty good side.
I think Tercio used and maybe try and save Stan, but like really far back. I don't know what that use was about. It might have been a misclick even? I don't even know. That was a weird use, because Tercio wasn't forced there. There was no one with him. So
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and I'll say, yeah, maybe he tried to use in order to, you know, keep his demo alive there. But Mezzo with the spawn camp will take down Stan again. He's actually taking all the attention of the retreating inVision players. Actually, Asics is able to grab his sentry and get it out there into a safer position. But just some cleanup on the buildings there. That first point going down in about 1 minute and 5 seconds. But look at this really aggressive sentry from Asics. So far forward, singing up on the rock, no fear. Just trying to kill anything that is going to come up that slope. And SDCK are deciding instead to just focus on the car and push underneath. They do have a diss out here though, Buck, and I'm not sure if they're really... Well, they should be aware of it, and they are playing a bit more passive now. But look at Vision on the chase!
Oh, Yahoo's ready for it though. He's going to try and deflect it. Yeah, good job by Yahoo being forwards there to being ready for that, and they're going to immediately leave. See, that's the risk when you take that play, when you have that aggressive Uber, and there we go. Mezzo's just taking on the gun because all the Uber players have gone forwards and they're not with the gun, so it's just going to have to run for his life. They pick up a few players in return as well, and Catgirl is importantly still alive, so yeah, I don't know what that was worth really, but we'll have to see how they try and play this passively now in return.
It's a bit of an interesting one. I would probably myself enjoy to just have that forward hold slightly longer, but they actually lose Posca there to a sticky trap, and but the Uber is going to be used onto Yahoo. He's going to be on the chase, trying to get as many kills as they can. They don't really get anyone other than the sentry, which, you know, could technically be considered a person. I don't know about the laws of sentries and whether or not they're Android law. Like, can we get a ruling whether sentries are sentient? But I mean, in all of that, again, they got a lot of kills there, Buck, but they didn't get Tercio, which means they're going to have an Uber advantage here. But that means they're just going to walk forward with this man advantage and try and take this corner, which is probably the most important corner rather on the entire map, because if you control this corner, it makes it much easier for you to actually try to control the third point cap. And the counter Conch, I think this is, from DQZ, is going to go forward. They take down Murphy, but they don't get much else. And Kazrock on a 5-kill streak is going to take down Lanza, and this is equal Ubers. So inVision have a decision to make here. Do they just sit back and soak up this pressure, or do they use the Uber and try to just push back and take some space?
Oh, I don't know whether that was a good decision by Poker though. He kind of just feeds there and unnecessarily in the elbow. But I mean, he has held it for a bit now. They've got so much aggression up this ramp though. They've got so much cap time. Asic's going to be flying some people into the air with the Wrangler, but he's not a chance to get level 3. This Uber is so weird. It's like being used behind, Barthas is in front, like completely un-Ubered. So they got with a nice shot into Jackal there, to be fair. And I don't know, is SDCK kind of like throwing this like corner hold? Like, I don't really know where that went wrong, but yeah, it's allowed them to come back in.
They had a pick onto Strono, and maybe they thought without the Pyro in play, they would be able to have a much better Uber. But it just didn't turn out that way. They lost too many players, and they're losing more players as we speak. They did get the car all the way up to you know, the third slope there. Stinghand very, very aggressive on the tracks. Posca is actually hiding inside this side house. I don't know what he's going to wait for. He's going to wait for maybe some coordinated spam. Lanza might find him. He does. Oh, it's going to be a 1v1. Heavy versus... No, Scout is going to win that. And May is now on the cart trying to push some camp time. But equal Ubers.
Yeah, equal Ubers. But I mean, yeah, big pick from Poker to be fair to get Sting. I'm surprised no one even called that. I mean, yeah, that's kind of a classic side area play. Oh, God, what happens?
Catgirl died at 99% to Barthes on the drop down. So he just came down, revved up, and that is one dead medic. And there's nothing worse than dying to a heavy when you can't actually use that Uber. So SDCK having to just reset here. I mean, the Uber was used by inVision. Yahoo's got behind and actually destroyed like the teleporter that was set up on last. And now SDCK are just like, you know what, let's just take it forward in DM, and they've got 3 kills out of it so far.
Yeah, and Swipe's managed to pick off Jacklegs who's in the elbow area, so it allows them a bit of a less spam coming in here. But yeah, that was kind of a lazy play there from SDCK, allowing Barthes to get away with that. Like, I mean, it's sure that Heavy always plays elbow when he's on defense most of the time here, and to allow him to get that, like, pressure, it was even buffed, I don't think. And yeah, we go Swipes gets the sniper as well, just pushing in here as Murphy goes down quite low. So a bit of a all over the place push from here from SDCK, trying to find his cart pressure. DKZ doing such a good job of trying to spam out this cart with the help of the demo as well, Stan. So let's see where they go.
SDCK really want to get this cart up to this third slope, and the Uber is going to be used on Tercio. He dies! He drops to a reflect rocket!
My God.
Oh no! You hate to see it happen, but Yahoo is the man of the hour. And, oh wow, Kazrock reeling off some headshots as well. It is absolute crushing push here from SDCK. They take this third point with aplomb, and Aztecs is dead, Stan is dead, Stingen is dead. Those 3 people you want alive on this last point, but they are not alive right now. And it's taken a little bit longer than before. 5:47 for the first 3 points. But SDCK have a bit of an advantage right now. It's not huge, but they have players in decent positions, and they're starting to make a move.
Yeah, Mezza gets picked up as well. He's just kind of hiding in that top area. But yeah, I'm sure DQZ will be kicking himself for shooting that rocket at Yahoo a bit later on. But right now, they're going to try and focus on this last defense. Barth is trying to get arrows through the window to defend up top as Poker goes down. But he goes down and returns to Kazrock trying to shoot through this little doorway in the top area. As Swipe's trying to calm out what they're doing, but it's utter chaos on this top area right now.
Yahoo's just running at them.
Oh,
he
God.
doesn't care. Oh, Stinghand with the save, point blank headshot. But Stan is so close to dying there. He goes down to 16 HP, actually saved by the dispenser. But Yahoo just showing absolutely no respect, just running at them, holding mouse one, just being like whatever. Mezzo now is just running at Tercio, and he actually gets away with it. Oh, he almost gets the med kill, but right now SDCK are just throwing people forward and taking these fights. They've got 2 picks right now. And they're starting to make moves towards going this high ground.
Jai just walks up here alone and dies. They use in though. Oh God, Tercio might get caught out here. Oh, yes, the Uber in return though. Going to be saving the demo. And Lanza jumps in as well. Perfect save timing from inVision there as Stan trying to melee Poker though. I don't know if that was the right idea. Tercio running for his life. Stingen in the box there is still. Telly eventually goes down. Cart pressure coming in from May as well, doing a good job of trying to pressure that. Clark's got his level 2 in main. There's so many people dead right now for the defenses. They're trying to get the spawns in. Cart's being pushed in. Oh, Story gets his reflex in. Oh, isn't enough though in 7 minutes 40 seconds.
All right, I've got an idea, Buck. We're gonna make we're gonna make bank out of this, right? So you know MG, right?
Yeah.
You got Badlands Spire, right?
Yeah.
You've got Gully Wash mid.
Are you gonna say upward last?
Upward last, 2
Oh,
scouts
God.
on top of the car. Because that was I was watching for like 30 seconds. Like Lanza and May going head to head, just dodging and weaving around the car. Like neither of them did a lick of damage to each other. They were just because the cart was in the way. But eventually May did, win it. It was Swipes who came in and then killed May. But then Barthes was just like, you know what? Not Barthes, sorry, Posca was just dropping down and be like, you know what? I'll push the cart myself. 7:39. So slightly longer than before, about a minute longer for SDCK on that attacking phase, but inVision will probably be quite happy with that, I would say.
I mean, considering the circumstances where they dropped their med to a reflect rocket, yeah, I'd say they're pretty happy with that, not gonna lie. I would like to point out as well how important it was that A6 actually had his telly up there. Like, the amount of people that actually used that telly to cross the chasm on last and try and get in that up top space was pretty crazy. Like Tertia ended up taking it as well, and then saving people with the Uber in return. So yeah, interesting sort of last play there. So we'll have to see how they do on this offense.
Yeah, the teleport is one of the most important things, both for the defense and the offense. If you can get those players into the battle faster, obviously you're more likely to win. But if you can get them in the right positions as well, then that just helps the entire whole. And you see inVision just doing this kind of slow push, and they actually use their Uber really early on. It's going to be countered here by SDCK. Murphy being used on by Catgirl. Not really many people dying from either side, just kind of chilling and resetting to their default positions here. But inVision want to be aggressive with this. They don't care about going for a sack wave. They just want to walk forward and take this fight.
Oh, it's just so aggressive there. I'm surprised Kaz hasn't taken more shots at him, but surprised for now as Clark's going still very aggressive here. Punch comes out from Jackie to try and return some aggression in. So many weak players here. Tertia's so far forward. I'm surprised it hasn't been picked off here. Nice pipes from Stan there to try and kill that scout that was aggressing in, but there we go. Kaz has got some more space on this high ground and kind of all over the place in this offense. Yeah,
actually, Stinger was really, really weak there. Almost got picked up. Leicester used that cheeky little banny bind in the spawn to get back and get some health. But Kaz on a 3k now, takes down Lanza. He's just been controlling these sight lines. But Stingham, though, has his own sight lines, takes Murphy out of the equation. No demo man for SDCK for another 10 seconds, and that sentry has gone down as well. And Stan is being so aggressive with this. Actually forces the Uber out, but Tercio doesn't have it yet. He's only at 92%. He's hiding around the corner. If Yahoo only walks forward, is he going to catch him? He's so weak. May is on him.
Oh my god. Okay, that was a needle in a haystack shots there from May. Didn't have enough bullets, I don't think, though. And yeah, Tercio being just, I don't know, he's so aggressive and so lucky to be living here in these situations, as he's got 100% now. So yeah, I'll probably try and plate this over the stairs.
I forgot to breathe there for a moment back. I was just like, yeah. This was the battle of the century. Is Tercio going to die? But Kagel did die, so there haven't been very good buffs on SDCK for the time being, and they're losing players. Jackie Legs, Kazrock, Yahoo all going down here. So is their sentry from Clark. We see Kagel is running away with May and Murphy. Clark is actually trying to get away. Is he going to get caught out? He does get caught out, so there's not going to be a sentry on the second point either. The only 3 people alive were the ones being escorted there by Kagel. And this is not looking good for SDCK right now. They bought a lot of time on that first point. About 2.5 minutes, but you know, you can get a pretty decent hold on second, and that's where inVision got a bulk of their time. So no Clark. They're probably going to be just sacrificing this third point and building on third. And they lose Kazaruk as well. This is going to give so much space to the inVision players to exploit.
Yeah, there's no way SDCK can back in here. I mean, even if they used in, it would be really risky to try and get Tercio here. Although, to be fair, he's holding in the corner. They are building. Do they know? Surely they need to stick off this door and have their pyro closed, surely. They're thinking about it. They're coming in now. They're using the pyro. So it's just gonna go down? Okay, right. Misplay on the side of Vision there, being so close to the wall for some reason. I don't know whether they just played close on the cart, so interesting positioning there. They might defend this. No, it's almost capped! Oh my god, okay. Things has happened.
Yahoo was like 2 HP though. Like, he took the entirety of the Uber, killed about 3 or 4 people, and then just stands on the cart, gets arrowed up. It's like nobody ever damaged him. Like you said, the cart is so close. I mean, on my screen, it's like a pixel over.
It's like over the...
Yeah, it's over the pointer, so SDCK are going to be worried about the spy cap. You see Polska and Yahoo are actually standing on top of the cart, which isn't going to really afford them too much of a position to defend this very well, but to be honest, all they're doing is buying some more time, and the cart is starting to roll back now, so now they can just retreat back to this more passive hold. Stan's going to jump onto the cart. Bit of a misplay there, I think, as he just gets killed.
Coordinate themselves again to try and get this push in with this passive hold. The cart is sort of teetering on the edge, but I will say one thing, CeeJaey. This is the first time I've ever seen a mid-sandwich throw pause in TF2.
Where's the sandwich?
It's in the window area as Barthas is trying to throw it to.
Oh wow! I think
midair.
I mean, I'm not a professional, like sandwich thrower, but I'm pretty sure that's gonna land. I like how it spins in the air. It's like a discus.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice, isn't it?
When is ETF2L gonna have a sandwich throwing competition?
Yeah, that'll be something, wouldn't it? Just like like an Olympics, part of the Olympics.
Yep. Well, he does hit Asix. There we go. He does get the HP there. Hey. And Barthas goes back to shooting. Actually, he dies, but he takes down Yahoo with him. So, probably not a bad trade. He's going to be respawning fairly quickly. But The cart is being pushed by Asics, and they're just denying it. And now May's going to be the one who's standing on top. DQZ jumps in. Pyro jumps in. Oh, May is just cleaning up, and Clark is just putting the damage out. And they're just trying to block this cut. They do not want the forward spawns to come in for inVision, and they're just buying so much time. My worry here for them, Buck, is the fact that if they get wiped here, it's not going to go very well because they have to get some time on third. Uber exchange, they drop Stinghan, who for some reason was in the Uber.
Yeah, like, he fell off and our stands there. Barthas comes in though, picks off Murphy. Poker's doing his best to try and get some picks before he dies here, but yeah, the feed for the card play was not the right idea. In my opinion, and I mean, the spike gets one can't push it, but I mean, they've got a lot of picks here. There's only 3 up right now on this defense, but they've got a bit of time before they come in here with the majority of their combo. So, oh, nice shot by DQZ though, takes our Jack away.
Okay, using the direct hit there, we'll take him down. I mean, Clark's got a level 1 up, but against the direct hit, yeah, it's going to go down in one single shot. And 2.5 minutes is actually quite a lot of time to play with for inVision here, and they have an uber advantage. They have the positioning, and this is what we saw earlier on, and they're just cleaning people up.
I don't even know what happened. Did they just? Was that when? That must have been when the pause happened. Like, I mean, yeah, they lose someone here. Oh my god, not ideal, not ideal at all.
Yeah, Mezzo is going to get the med kill. To maybe save something out of that exchange, because the pause came in just when SDCK had lost like the entirety of their team. And Mezzo, like we saw earlier on, maybe saving his team or getting his team the win here, but there's still 145. No, I can't even read time anymore. But it's been this intense. 1 minute and 35 seconds left for inVision to capture the final point. We do see SDCK on the top here. It's a slim advantage, 10% if anything. But inVision have to cap. If they do not cap the final point, then they will lose this first map and will be moving on to Steel. And we see DQZ there trying to get underneath and try to get some spam on the sentry, but he gets wrangled out there by Clark. And the underground is being controlled by Jackie Legs and May. And inVision slowly running out of time here. They're not going to get Uber for another 10 seconds or so. And that's going to mean it's a now or nothing push, really, Buck.
Yeah, and the important thing is as well as earlier, Swipe was trying to go for Kazza, and they managed to save Kazza, so he's still in this upper window with his men being healed, trying to do his best to defend the cart. And he got a minute left. Jackie and May going to be sort of going between the spawn and between the cart, trying to keep themselves topped up in health. But Uber come in now. Poker dies as the Uber comes in. Uber's a bit more later though for SDCK, so it might end up being in their favour. Strona goes down as well. Barth is trying to just sort of stay around to see if there's any remaining players, but yeah, just very quickly running out of time here.
It's the Jackie Legs conch. They're losing a lot of players here. Kazarok's also gone down, and Clark is very weak. He's trying his best to wrangle people on the car and wrangle people underneath, and Jackie Legs is gonna win that fight against Asics. Very weak, but that black box conch is doing a lot. But look at Strana, he's on the cart right now. 90 seconds, they need to kill people on the cart, otherwise inVision do have enough time to get this. Murphy's gonna take down Stan. May is on the cart now, trying to DM Bath. Is that car MGE I was talking about? Buck is coming into play here because he's starting to take some names, and it's going to be enough with that respawn wave to clean everyone up. And the second round will go to SDCK, 2-0 on Upward, and they're going to take the map.
Yeah, I mean, when it was coming together at the end there, I mean, some very weird plays that were going on, and some weird positionings as well, but yeah, eventually they kind of just bring it back to the basics. Didn't have to worry about too much about the Uber when they were doing that upper hold as well. Got Kaz up there, had their heels up there. Clark had his gun. Frank was relatively comfortable. Jackie just doing his classic spamming of the black box around the corner. And yeah, Clark's not really under pressure, so they've always got to worry about that. If it's a last second push and you're trying to worry about the level 3, it is never a nice thing.
Yeah, well, that was the first map of the grand final. There is potentially 2 more to go, at least 1 more to go. So don't go anywhere. We'll be moving on to CP Steel for our second map. We're going to be taking a quick break. So go grab a drink, go make a coffee. Could be potentially a long one. And we'll see you back momentarily. But for those of you just joining us, this is map 2 of the grand final. SDCK won the first map 2-0 over on Upward. inVision chose CP Steel as their home turf, and we're going to be playing that now. Best of 3. Of course, if SDCK win this best of 3, then they will be crowned champions of ETF2L yet again, whereas inVision need to win this map to even stay in the tie. So we'll have to see how things go. Currently SDCK in the blue, they'll be attacking first. inVision in the red, they'll be defending, and we'll be seeing if they can beat the time set during their attacking phase later on. A little bit of setup time as the defense gets their buildings into position, and we have that kind of ceremonious capping of A where no one really does anything other than just kind of sit around. So I'm going to ask you, Buck, who or what needs to change in inVision? Does somebody need to step up a little bit more? Does there need to be a little bit more communication? What needs to change for them to win in this tie?
I think the flankers have to start playing around the combo a lot more on this map. I mean, my motto of playing this map is like just do everything as 9 players, and on defense you have to kind of separate people because of the comms and like trying to know where they're coming in. So I think if Lands and a Stand play together, it might favour them quite heavily. I think Scout is very underrated on this map, in fairness, so you'll have to see how they do it. But at the moment I'm seeing there's quite a few stickies kind of laid around the areas, like single stick traps coming out from Stan on this B point entrance.
Yeah, I can see just like a lone crit sticky in a couple of different places. No one's noticed the one that I'm looking at, and he debts and somehow gets nobody. So that's really unfortunate as a number of people walk past there. Kind of a sack wave going on right now. Posca and May on the top there. Wow, both of them dying at the same time to Asik's Sentry. Even got a Rescue Ranger kill there. So Asik's just showing what he's capable of, utilizing all of those weapons for Engineer. But you see this aggressive hold coming in. The Sentry really far forward. That just allows people to be a little bit more free, but the Uber gets used in on that Reflect rocket from Yahoo is going to take down Strono, and Yahoo just goes forward. He's going to get taken down there. Kazrock with the Huntsman kill onto Stinghan. A lot of stuff has died here. Asix's Sentry's gone down. Lanzika is the next person to die to an arrow.
Oh,
what is going on, Buck?
Okay, I think inVision just like fell apart because they were way too far forwards. Like, I don't know whether you noticed that, but like Barthas was on crew and then he got whipped to like jump across up top so that they could try and get some up top pressure, but they had so many players that were coming in. Like, you know, this thing, like I was saying, playing as 9, SDCK did that perfectly as they come in there. As the initial pick was Stinghan, and it enables them to get that space. Gun goes down, kind of ends up being chaotic from there, and he's still doing it as, oh god, what happened?
I'm just looking at Murphy. He takes down Asix and the Sentry. So, you know, Barth is actually getting a couple of kills there. Takes out May and Posca, but Asix thrown into the respawn queue, so no Sentry is watching E right now, and it's basically a free C-cap for SDCK. The respawns are going to come in fairly quickly, so I don't think they're going to even risk going down that death corridor, but a free C-cap does mean the bridges will be extended to that final point. The spawns are going to be instantaneous for the attackers, but inVision are going to have some very, very long 20 to 25 second respawn times, and Murphy just hates Engineers, it seems. Takes down the Sentry yet again. DQZ trying to get some damage down into that connector area, but Tercio catching up with Uber here, but he will have something to defend with.
Weird Uber coming out from Catgirl though. Now Catgirl's just alone, trapped in Death Corridor. Weird play from SDCK in Death Corridor. They've done this in the past, like when I've casted some games of SDCK, and yeah,
Tercio
like they end up just
used.
dropping loads of people. But Tercio using?
I don't know, did he try to save Stan again?
Oh god.
Yeah, interesting choice.
Fogan's like absolutely mowing down everyone in White Room. I don't know how everyone just feeds to him there, but apparently that happened. He's on 100 health still, basically.
He's still alive. He's still alive. Like, he's still, you know, being an annoyance. Jackie Legs is just spamming. Oh, Murphy falls into the pit. Only 3 players alive here. Barthes gets launched forward, but there's a Sentry by Clark in the BC connector, and that
3 minutes.
Be all she wrote. 3:21.
3-2-1.
3-2-1.
Yeah.
Kind of let's go inVision, really, because they're going to need to put in a pretty fast time. They're going to be rocking. You know, back in the day, Buck, we used to have, you know, the casts done in the same channel as the teams sometimes, so you could listen to their comms.
What?
So you could be like, let's listen to what the teams are saying right now, and you could go over there. Obviously, these days, I think it's better to stay out. You don't want strats being leaked or words being said, but to be a fly on the wall in either of these teams' rumbles right now, I mean, I imagine SDCK are kind of pretty happy. They're going to be pretty hyper, maybe a bit overconfident going into this round. But inVision are just going to be sat there, and I think they're probably saying, AE. We've got to do an AE push right now. At some point during this round, they need to put the pressure on the flank.
Yeah, the thing is though, like when you get a time like this, it's so predictable, the AE push, and you can just set up for it. Like, I mean, as I say that, like you've got crit sticks already on some of the walls from Murphy that Mezzo can try and calm out to his demo. So just save the trying for that strategy. But yeah, I don't know what inVision were really trying for there. They never really tried to regroup after they lost B. I mean, the respawn times are so long, they need to just respect the pressure that they're taking and then try and come back to E, but that just never really happened.
3 minutes is still quite a lot of time to play with. SDCK obviously went all the way around the houses and did all of the points, but if inVision decide that they want to go towards A, which looks like what they're doing, Tercio and Stan starting to make moves over to that side of the map, there is the potential for them to just cap the E point, because of course in Steel the only thing you need to do is capture E. You don't need to capture all of the points. In fact, you could only cap E and even ignore A if you wanted to, which has happened in Prem officials before. But it's all going to be down to the flank of SDCK, whether they're going to be calling this out. May and Jackie Legs probably going to be seeing the fact that there's a lot of bodies in White Room right now, which is why we see Kazarok has rotated to this BC connector, is currently flinging arrows in the general direction. But no, it's going to be a drop-down switcheroo here, Buck, as they're starting to come down. They've waited Clark to move his sentry, and now they're going to be pushing into B.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised Clark moved his gun that quickly, actually, and the drop-down play kind of worked. I'll say that, they dropped their demo. Barthas comes in really late as well, kind of like this side position. Poker is going to be head peeking for his life, just taking on everyone that's in front of him. I don't know why they're just disrespecting Poker here. They need way more people in. They've lost 3 though, they lost Murphy, so might be able to play back in when they get their demo spawning, as Swipes helps clean up some kills here. But Tertia goes down to May, never mind.
Yeah, that's...
DQC though?
Oh, okay. Okay, maybe there's potential. I mean, I was going to say that's the killer. The respawns are faster if you're attacking, but if you lose your medic, it's not that great. But if you kill the enemy medic as well, hey, we can trade meds all day because Tercio is already up and he is healing. Kakal still has another 5 seconds, and they're all over the B point, just under a minute and a half to go. So they have a choice right now. Do they go and put some time onto C, or do they go for the E point? Realistically, they have to go for the E point because it does take at least 45 seconds for that E point to get capped, and we're starting to approach that point of no return, and SDCK are aware of this, so they're just going to put all of their pressure of their defense on the E point and try and stop them, because without the C point there's no bridges, and it severely limits who can get on the point. As I say, one of the players who could potentially do that is DQZ, and he falls into the pit.
Yeah, I don't know. I think if they went fast enough, they could have pressured C. It's completely empty. It would have been a relatively quick cap, and they would have allowed them to get the bridges up. But I don't know. They felt kind of a bit more pressure for time, and now they can't really get their combo in quickly. They're kind of relying on purely DQZ to do anything. But Poker's already there, just denying everything. Already shooting Stan there, gets some nice damage onto him though. Eventually gets in those Swipes, gets a pick onto Yahoo though, which is pretty big. If they can try and get some people onto the point here, Lander's got some space. Stan jumps over. Jackalas gets picked up by Barth, is like guarding in the back as well. And now it's got 30 seconds time to stay on the point. I don't know. This might be doable, but Stan's gonna go down surely.
Yeah, Strono's taking a lot of damage. He takes an arrow as well. And I was going to say, Catgirl is hiding in spawn with 100% Uber. Any moment could just come out with the rest of their team and get some kills there as Barthas falls into the pit. Lanza cannot get the time down, and the Uber's going to be used. A few seconds left to go. Cheeky XD in the chat there from Barthas. He knew it was fruitless to try and jump that gap, and the guitar taunt comes down as SDCK take that first round rather quickly. 1-0 to the good. 1 round away from the championship. This is championship point, Buck.
Yeah, I don't think like inVision are treating it like it's like, match point essentially at this point. So yeah, it just kind of all fell apart. Like when they just didn't have anyone after the B push in. They didn't really regroup on E, like I was saying before, and then I don't know, just didn't get any of the heals in. They managed to build an Uber. SDCK kind of just. I mean, even after they got caught out, didn't even matter. Like, Clark was already set up with his gun, and then they had people on E capping it. So pressure just came in from everywhere from SDCK, and they were in the right place at the right time.
It kind of brings us back to what we were talking about before, when you're on the defense and you know how much time is left to play with. And SDCK knew that with a minute and a half, yes, you can go for C, but realistically, you have to put all of your eggs in that one basket, being the E point, because that's the one you need to cap. It doesn't matter if you cap C and D and then do E. You need to do E at some point. So SDK just able to just constantly fight the players on that E point, keep their medic nice and safe, get the force, and I feel they could have held it for longer because Kaggle did have that Uber and they just used it in the end there for the logs, I assume, because they were just really, really well protected. So we're on to this second round now, and it is going to be inVision attacking first. So they'll have the chance now to try and, you know, get a decent time all the way to E. SDCK will be trying to beat that time, and if they do, they will be crowned champions of Season 22 Premiership Highlander in ETF2L. inVision need to win the next 2 rounds to even bring it to a third map to have a chance of taking that crown away from them. What do you think here, Buck? I mean, are we going to see AE again, or are we going to see something a little bit more traditional coming out of inVision?
I'm hoping some more traditional push coming in, maybe just capping that 8 point out first, but I am thinking that my prediction earlier is looking a bit yikes of the, what I was saying about going to map 3, because there's a lot of pressure on inVision right now, trying to do something. SDCK looking very comfortable.
Teams have come back from West. Who knows what could happen? I was wondering why Lanza wasn't dying and wasn't killing Boca. Then I realised the bonk was in play, so I was like, okay, okay, I forgot that weapon existed. But Stingan opening things up there with a nice little headshot onto Kazrock, who was using the Huntsman, took down a sentry and then died. Has been using the arrows a lot this season, and the Uber gets used.
Degu uses to 1 quickie bomb sticky. That was, God. I don't even know how to comment on that. I mean, that was just kind of a bit weird, not really trusting in the team that much, but that's a huge opening for them. And they use already. Tertiary uses, and then they're 3 down already.
They just exchanged. Okay,
so... Well, Clark's gun's fine, so that's something.
Yeah, Clark is just like, guys, I don't know what's going on. Sort it out. My sentry's going to do all the work right now. Yeah, maybe it was the fear that it could have been a crits. I mean, surely not. You would have known whether it's a crits or not. Yeah. But as soon as Kaggle used the Uber, Tercio almost like instinctively used as well, and there was this really awkward trade where no one really did anything.
Yeah,
so the
really
rotations. Yeah, look at Stanley. He's already onto BC. They're doing this insane kind of look at Jackie Legs just flying all the way to the other side of the map. They're going to go for an AE here. They're trying to lock down this BC connector.
he like jumps off and then misses the jump and then dies to the pit. So get your extra smart pits in chat once again. Since it is steel, it's mandatory.
Map hazards. We got to count those map hazards. Oh, Jackie Legs is trying to control this eSpawn area. Takes down Stingan, so no awkward snipes. Lanza even types in chat, goodbye world. Hopefully he's talking about the pick death there as the Uber exchanges are happening on B. Stan gets dropped out of this Uber again, and Pozka just once again cleaning up after these Ubers. Takes down Strona. He is going to die for that trade, but there's going to be another conch coming out of Jackie Legs. Where does he get them from? There's like a plantation or something where he's just constantly farming these conches that just stick over and over again. And SDCK just kind of resetting here to some sort of passive beehive.
A6 and Swipes coming for the flank though to find something, but Clarkson does eventually go down. Jackie going to be reverting back to this sort of window spot that the heavy likes to sometimes stand in. Poker leading the charge back in though, no fear, does get sniped for his troubles, but Martha's got a bit of space here to work his way in with the rest of his team eventually, but still nothing on the cap. Jackie goes for another bomb in, trying to bomb the high ground. I mean, Stinger not really being protected that well, does eventually go down, and there we go, the players come in, May be holding on a W here.
It's wonderful when you see that coordination coming in. Tercio dies to Murphy there. It was just this huge jump in from Jackie Legs. He just launched himself across the map and just got into them. Knew that he was probably going to die because of it, but as a soldier, sometimes staying alive isn't the most important thing. It's creating that space, and that allowed the rest of his team to just clean up. And Murphy getting the all-important kill there. But look at Barthes on the high ground right now, getting some damage onto this sentry, which is a mini sentry. Clark has had to switch to the miniature version, and Yak has actually gone down here. And Kako could be in a pretty bad position. Does have the Uber to potentially get out here. But it does look like inVision are really trying to go for this horse. They do. Stan, Swipes, DQZ, Asics are all going to die as a result. But most importantly here, Buck, Tercio has survived. And inVision do have an Uber advantage. That's at least the one advantage they've got at this moment in time.
This is biding so much time for SDCK though. They're just chilling on this B point. I mean, I do actually kind of like the decision from Clark to go mini save. Like, he's realizing that, you know what, we're sitting on B for quite a while. I can't be bothered to get my level 3 going again, so I'm just going to get some minis out and see what happens. So, I mean, what's happening at the moment is they seem to be rotating into White Room as inVision. The Stinger's trying to take this 1v1 with Kaza in the shutter. trying to peek it. No, they're going to go drop down again. It's the debated play all the time running from inVision. Poker's in the window waiting for them though.
The question is, do SDCK try and fight this? No, inVision are going to use the Uber. They catch out Murphy. Can they catch out anyone else? Jackie Legs is trying. He can't. He misses that jump. And the sentry from Clark also goes down. I was going to say, do inVision actually go for the AE? I was wondering why they're going for the AE there, because they have this huge advantage. Just play around with that advantage on B, but they go for that drop-down bait, and they will finally have enough cap time on B to solidify the cap. But like you said earlier, Buck, it's bought so much time for SDCK. These 2 points has taken 4 minutes and 32 seconds. That's longer than it took SDCK to cap the entirety of the map in that first round, but they are getting some cap time onto E now. It's Strano.
Oh, the Uber.
Oh.
Yeah, Uber comes in. It's in for remain. Yahoo's just, like, no fear. Tertia runs away by himself. Fortunately, he hasn't got to worry about Jackie Leg bombing him, and A6 is trying to set up a little sneaky telly in the back. But yeah, I don't know. They kind of just tried to push into C there, but didn't really respect the ad. Didn't know that they were going to come in maybe, and now they're going to try and go back to square one. So maybe they try and go cliff here. I do notice that inVision aren't as together as I probably like them to be either. They're kind of just very spread out. Like Lanz is like on the point right now, but if you're trying to fight like some of the flank members from them, maybe just take some heals and go to C. Also, there's traps as well. They're going to try and deal with them. There we go.
Yeah, as you mentioned, traps. Strano dies to one of those sticky traps, and just looking at Lanza, he's launching every projectile possible. He's chucking his meat cleaver, he's hitting a baseball, trying to get Kazarok, but it gets cleaned up by May. He's actually on a 7k right now, and yeah, like you said, Lanza's trying to get onto that E point and get some cap time, but it's very, very difficult when, you know, no one else can really support you because of the lack of bridges. We need that C point to be capped, but big kill.
Yeah, like, I don't know why, like, Degu was stood there for so long. Should have just, like, left. I mean, they had no respect for Stan, really. Stan just getting that quick pipe around the corner. And now they lose that big ad, because they were on, like, 90% there, I think. They almost built it, and Stan knew, and just went for that pick and got it. So, this affords them pretty big ad here. They're going to try and go through Death Corridor with this, but they don't have the Uber. And I always say to myself, don't go Death Corridor unless you've got Uber, so you can save yourself if you need to. They might get collapsed on here. It's looking very sketch. They're walking through. Both is trying to cover them. I think they managed to get into D though eventually. Yeah,
they do. They've actually got a pretty good position, and Tercio just ticked over to that 100%, and they're starting to get some kills as well. 3 down, make that 4 down for SDCK right now. Yahoo's going to jump down onto the point, trade his life for the Uber Force. It actually takes a long time to kill him. So, done a lot of good work there. A lot of good work. And Clark is doing so much work himself. He's just wrangling for his life and forces DQZ to drop into that pit. Exclamation mark pit in chat, if you please. And I think we've kind of reset to where we were before. You know, SDCK have given up the C point. Just under 6 minutes it took inVision to get that far. But now we're seeing SDCK, E point, just holding this fairly comfortably for the time being. They had Tercio very, very weak. It's just constantly getting pressured here. But yeah, inVision now have to try and work out what they're going to do to try and crack this hold, and the Ubers are going to be used.
Yeah, and they've got Kaza with the sentry here as well, which makes it half a sting, and he just went down in the window, so... Yeah, Tercio having to run for his life here. Once again, alone burning, he manages to live though from the afterburn, so he'll be getting with his team eventually. He does have a bit of an ad. Lanza finding a pick there as well, but Arthur's somehow getting Clark. I don't even know how on earth that happened to get him that close to the gun, but yeah, now they've got to try and rebuild this level 3.
Yeah, no medic, no NG. 2 classes you really kind of want to see on the final point of Steel. Mezzo also going down, but Kazarok will take down Sting, and they're starting to win a few of the fights here. DQZ and Bath is also going down. Uber's going to be used here by inVision as they're trying to make their way towards this E-spawn area. Clark's sentry just forces them. Kazarok, oh my word! Gets the headshot onto Sting, and just before dying, absolutely crazy shot from that man, and that's got a sting.
Oh wow! I thought that was a pun to CeeJaey.
Oh, that wasn't even an intentional pun, but yeah, that's gonna sting for Sting.
Stingam will hate you for that. All right, we'll put that one in the books. That's fine. But yeah, I don't know how they managed to get that. I mean, they get the Uber, but it wasn't really that useful. They only really got like 1 person out of the fight, and now they're back on the point. But SDCK rotated into main, not even having to worry about getting flanked. Jackie with the conch helping. It's making it so hard for them to counterpeat them. And trying to get this point capture going off. Murphy rotates spam under, gets A6. DKZ trying his best to try and get Murphy out of the equation. Yahoo comes back in, but they're trying. They do have this Uber though. Tercio just got 100% now.
Yeah, it's kind of equal ubers, and I think SDCK are waiting for theirs to just try and push in out, and Yahoo is going to be using that mouse too, trying to push people off of the point. Strono just being launched up and actually survives there. So a lot of people living, and Murphy goes down. This is all just buying time. I think it's inevitable that inVision are going to capture this final point with the amount of presence they have right now, but Yahoo just walks forward. Strono is gonna, he survives, he just manages to get out, and no, then he falls in.
The celebratory jump in the pit. Sacrifice the pit gods.
Yeah, sacrifice yourself to the pit gods for more pit luck in future rounds. But yes, I mean, there was a moment there where we transitioned from SDCK being in control to inVision are clearly going to capture all of the points, and it's all about SDCK trying to buy more time, right? And they bought a decent amount of time there with the Uber exchanges and just running it onto the point, but 9:18 is not a very fast time. Looking on the side of inVision, they won't be happy with that, but SDCK are going to be saying, we've got a lot of time to play with. That doesn't necessarily mean it's automatically in the bag, though. We've seen some crazy things happen on this map.
Yeah, I like to call it the bomb blitz effect, because people in the past have always said the bomb blitz is like a map that kind of anything can happen on, and Steel sometimes does have that effect where it just takes one bit of momentum, and then you just guns blazing straight in there. And I think they're going to be trying to look for that right now. But I mean, they have got their work cut out here. Like if they end up losing this, then yeah, SDCK will be the champions of season 22. So it is all or nothing for inVision as they are starting off on this B defense.
Yeah, I mean, there was the in-game notification that popped up not too long ago, and I wonder if that's getting in some of the players' heads right now. They know there's more people watching. They know that the Tier 2 community is flooding into the stream, and the pressure is on. But yeah, like you said, SDCK just need to win this round, and they will be crowned champions, a clean sweep in the grand final. But inVision, they have all the work to do. They have to win this round from a very, very, unfortunate position. And then they need to win the next round, and then an entire map to try and take that crown away from the defending champions. And it looks like they're going to get aggressive here, SDCK, just barging themselves up the top. So many players a week, but they don't actually get a force, and they don't actually get any kills.
I like how because Murphy doesn't get that one stick, Barth actually lives here. And now he's alive for this top, so I mean, May tried to get the kill there, but just managed to find it. But yeah, loads of people going down in this middle area actually. Twice managed to sap the gun as well, that was kind of keeping them from pressuring that corridor. They're going to absolutely whip speed up this stairway as Lanza tries to pick off Yahoo there. And Murphy goes down again, and he's only just spawning, so delaying their B push a bit here.
Yeah, as you can see, SDCK putting all of their eggs in the B basket and trying to... Oh, Strano takes an arrow, gets down to 5 HP there. But yeah, SDCK are putting all of their players to try and push, and they're actually going to take an Uber exchange here on B, just pushing in through the choke, but Barthes gets dropped. Jackie Legs is going to get the kill, and Meza with the Enforcer will take down that sentry. Clark has got a sentry in choke, just trying to gun people down. Wrangles down Strono. A lot of players dying all over the place here. It's just going to be a DM battle, but Lanza's picking up a few, up to a 4K, but Murphy and Poker come in very late on. Tercio will be dead. Swipes is the last person alive. They're trying to find him. He's invisible. Might actually get away. No, he's being bumped all over the place. Is he going to get anything? He's dancing around. No, Jackie Legs will eventually finish him off, but a long spawn queue there for inVision, and B point's already capped with 7 minutes to go.
Yeah, shout out to May there as well, actually, because after Yahoo went down, he pretty much did so much work there, just chasing and gets the med and gets the demo as well. So imagine to get those picks and allowing them this C cap time as inVision actually finally doing what I was saying earlier, trying to regroup, and now they're in White Room trying to get Sting in a bit of a sightline through this main BC connector. And again, SDCK with the Death Corridor strategy, it's going to be waltzing into D.
No fear whatsoever. And the big difference is the fact that the C point has been capped. Means that those bridges are going to be extended for the final point, making it all too easy for other players to get on there. And you can see the simultaneous caps going down right now on D and E as SDCK want to capture this D point. Not always necessary, but it does block off the E spawn, making it so much harder for inVision to try and get to that E point when they're defending. This is going to be a really fast time if they're going to go at this pace. Barthes is trying to box people. He's got the gloves out. DQZ with the conch is trying to save his team. Catgirl did go down there, but by the time I've said that, has already respawned because the spawns on the attacking side for Steel are so very fast. Still 6 minutes to go, but it's time 6 on the final point for SDCK right now. This could be the winning one, as KANNONEN is going to use the Amputator taunt to just get those heals out to everyone. But the Uber's coming in from Tercio.
Oh god. They're trying to use it. I mean, they're getting some players down. Loads of people dead for SDCK. I'm actually surprised that many people died on the side of SDCK. Stan managed to live on 12 health as well, which is pretty big. I kind of thought they'd given up for a second there. I knew they were kind of waiting for that Uber to come in. Wasn't sure who they'd use it on, and Yahoo not managing to get the best reflex out that he probably would have wanted. So, yeah, loads of SDCK going down there. Now they're going to regroup again in this white room.
Yeah, they're getting a couple of kills there. Meto gets a little bit of tap time, and it's like, oh, Barthas is up on the high ground. Maybe I'll just back off here. But yeah, big stab there. Kaggle down. Kaggle's dying a couple of times here now, and like we said, it's not over till it's over. SDCK may be getting a little bit cocky now, a bit arrogant that it's in the bag. And this could have been done a while ago. Jackie like tackles into the pit. Yeah, so I mean, it's not over till it's over, Buck. But it do kind of be over.
I do love that he was trying to jump Tercio, and then like in his sort of overzealousness to try and jump Tercio, just misreads the jump and dies. Yeah,
Strano with the rare kill feed icon, the reflect huntsman arrow kill onto Kazuma.
Oh yes,
that is going to be it. Clark with the guitar taunt, gonna drop a little riff for us as SDK win that second round very comfortably. Over 4 minutes left, I think it was, to play with, showing that even on their opponent's map choice, they can blitz through it. And your prediction, Buck,
you completely blown out of the water.
You thought this was going to be a long one. You thought it was
it's one of the shortest ones we've seen ever. So yeah, I might as well just stop speaking. That's great.
Don't do that. Yeah, I've been CeeJaey, joined by Buck and Wiethoofd. We are Critscast, sponsored by Manco.store. Don't forget to check out all of our relevant social medias. You can take a look at our Twitter, YouTube, where we post all of our casts that are handily edited by Wiethoofd. We also have some amazing merch.critscast.com. You get things like t-shirts, hoodies, mugs, posters, all sorts of things available. So all of the money goes towards supporting the production and casters who do so much great work in doing TF2. I do think we'll have a award show potentially at some point on Critscast in the postseason. We'll also have plenty of UGC action coming up for you in the future. But for now, have a great evening and we'll see you next time.
Hi, old beaver! Away!